Hello and welcome to Mia the Passion Muse Show. My guest this week, and actually all month, is Victoria Wynn. Welcome, Victoria.
Thank you, Mia. It's been a little while.
It has been. It's been, I think, a year. And that's
oh my gosh.
Time. Yeah. And the reason I'm showcasing with Victoria all month of January is she has this fabulous program that many of you know called The Lies I Tell Myself. And it's breaking through the false beliefs that we put upon ourselves to break through to freedom and beauty in life. And so this week we're really excited because it's called The Lies I Tell Myself About My Dreams. So why don't you start us out, Victoria, because this is your show too.
Well, so that's juicy, the lies I tell myself about my dreams and goals. And I hear commonly from like a stay-at-home mom, oh, you know, I could never be a career woman. Like these are the cards I've been dealt. Or I could never be an artist. I don't have any skill. And there's a lot of I can'ts. Yet there are so many people out there that show us that that's a bunch of bull, so known as lies, that these I can'ts. And I've had to break through a lot on my own. You know, what do I know about public speaking, or what do I know about being on the radio? Well, the thing is, I don't. That doesn't mean don't do it.
Right.
You know, you learn along the way. You fail faster.
You gain faster, too, that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's just so many, not just I can't do it, but I can't do it right now. I've got this going on, and I've got that going on, and well, that's too expensive.
Right.
And I was actually creating a workshop called, it is talking about paying the price. So there's a price to pay, which is maybe some discomfort if it's public speaking or nervousness or anxiety, or getting really creative about how to make the money to invest in yourself just a little bit. And usually it takes a lot less than what we're thinking it's going to take.
Right.
You know, which paralyzes us. It paralyzes me, that's for sure. A whole workshop about, and again, I warned you in the beginning, I'm a real tough one about this because there is a price to pay. You know, your whole new dream or career, or even if it's a dream house on the beach, that would be mine that I'm working on, it's typically not just going to walk right in your front door and be handed to you without some effort and without letting go of the lies.
Right.
Specifically with deserving, it tends to get right down to, if you believe you deserve that, you're going to make it happen. You're going to figure it out. So
it's getting outside of your comfort zone and stepping into, once you do, into true freedom. Can I just point out, since this is so beautiful, if I may, that your dream was to build this home, and you're sitting in your new office kitchen home.
Yes, and we're building my office right now downstairs. So we've got the kitchen going on, but this is
beautiful. This is something that you've stepped out of. You stepped out of fear of being a single mom. You found the man of your dreams. You built your home, and you're not even married a year yet.
I know. I
Could you
my
believe
plate
that?
A little bit. Sometimes I think I fill my plate too much, but then other times I think, you know what? That's how I get it done, though. It's it can be exhausting, but through the house process, it wasn't like this smooth thing. Building a house with my husband was amazing, and we get along great, but getting a loan these days is a whole nother story, and so we were worried we were going to lose it, and they were actually already talking about how they were going to list my home, like that I designed, and that was scary when I found that about that, and I had to go into some of my own coaching skills of letting things go, going with the flow. Maybe there's something else out there, even though my heart said no. You fight for this, fight and do everything you can, make every call, and I did. Man, I was reaching out to people that who are you? I'm like, I am a lady that wants a home so bad. You please help me. I'm told that you're an expert in this area. And yeah, there was discomfort, and And then there was some sadness because we really, they were telling us, yeah, we're going to end the contract. We're going to keep your earnest money and we're going to end the contract. And I have to say it's perseverance, you know, like believing I deserve this. I've been through some tough years and I've done the work and I really do deserve to have this creation of my husband and mine. Yes. And yeah, so I would say deserving and then some serious perseverance.
Absolutely. And that's what it takes in building our dreams, in creating our lives, in connecting your passion that you had for your house with your husband to have something better for your children. Yeah. It's beautiful. And so that's why this project, The Lies I Tell Myself, is so valuable to everybody on every level and every dream. It's not just the dream of your home. It's a dream that we're going to get into throughout this whole series. Relationships, business, money, it's all based around that. Every single lie. And that's why it's such a brilliant program that you have created. So thanks again for doing that. Yeah.
Thank you. You brought up a point that makes me feel like I should bring it up, that it's all in all and overall, if I was going to summarize it, it's how to bring peace to your life. It's about peace. When we let go of the talk, the chatter, the negative, you can't, not good enough, too ugly, too fat, too skinny, too young, too old, too black, too white. Once we can quiet the chatter down, that's where I found the most peace. And this whole project was started just because I needed it for myself. I couldn't figure out why a smart, cute, friendly girl that loves people was struggling so much. And I literally just like woke up and went, oh my gosh, it's the lies I tell myself. And then I went, oh my gosh, I need to share that. And then I went, oh my gosh, then I have to share really embarrassing things about myself because I was all about image at the time.
Right.
And I had to just scrape all that image stuff away and get real raw, and then that's how this is all expanded.
It's beautiful. And also part of a dream is what we work on ourselves in our own heart and our body and our soul is our treasures. And that's the beautiful light that, like you see in her face, or maybe you see it in mine. It's our treasures that we're sharing with the world. I'm the Passion Muse. I'm sharing my passion. She's all about the lies we tell ourselves, breaking through the crap to live an extraordinary life. It's all about that. It's all about finding who you are. So what if you've had this garbage, as some people see it, or you as an individual may see it? So what if it's in your life? It's part of the beauty of our history. The darkness is what makes the light so fabulous.
And you of all people get to preach that because you've done... you've been through stuff and seen things that no person should. So it's pretty neat and inspiring to hear you say that. So I'm like, man, if somebody has a great victim story, it is Mia. I mean, nobody would argue with you when you shared, what your childhood was like. Nobody would argue if you said, life sucks and I was dealt a really crappy hand. We would go, yeah, you're right. But it's really inspiring to have you say, no. There is growth from it. There's light that can come from it, and that's the path I'm going to take.
Thank you. And I feel that it's what brings me to serve others is because it may have been ugly, but it never touched me if I didn't allow it to. Sure, it touched my body or it touched this or that, but did it touch the soul within me, within you, within Victoria? It doesn't touch our soul, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm a little taken aback here. So we can create and build our dreams, which is what we're talking about. And go ahead because I am a little miffed here.
No matter our circumstances. I just think that typically I don't think very black and white, but in this case I do. There are two ways. We can go down the whole victim. Life stinks for me because of my ex and because of my mom or my dad or the stranger that whatever did whatever to me or my family, or we can go down the high road of turning it into lessons and ways that we can show other people they're not alone. I mean, there's so many things that we can do with our trials. And you and I have just decided we're going to take that road. And it's not always comfortable because it's really authentic. Mm-hmm. And I think it's nicer just to walk around through life with just a certain smiley face and go, everything's great. Well, I would like that to be authentic, like
exactly.
Really, truly smile, because everything really does feel great to me. Anyway, so that's what I admire about you, is you're taking that road, and way more than I have. Like, I cannot complain when I hear about the things that you have gone through, and so you're just not all talk. You know, when you hear people say this, you know, I'm flying the light and learn the lessons, and you're like, like that just doesn't feel inspiring. And that's why I felt like I should share it. Like, no. With Mia, it's, you've done a lot of work, and it's so awesome.
Thank you. And that's what I want to share with people, is how to get through the steps of, it's not bad, it's beautiful. Just, if you take it in your heart and you're not afraid, if you get rid of the fear, and what's on the other side of fear? It's what I've been saying, like, for the last 6 months, so excited about. I'm just, like, thrilled. There's a beautiful light. The freedom is magnificent. Do I have my struggles still? Of course, I do.
Yeah.
I just spent 3 horrible days of energy that should not have happened. But it's made me stronger. It's made me see things differently. It's made me have more compassion and love.
So maybe it should have happened.
It's still too new.
I know what you're talking about.
So see, everyone, we deal with the same thing, the same dream, the same. When we wake up from that dream, we can create, we can build, we can do amazing things from like Victoria building her home in less than a year. She got married in February, I think.
May.
Oh,
yeah.
May, okay. Oh, my goodness, girl.
Yeah, the end of May, and it can happen.
Yes.
Perseverance.
And like building our businesses. I was a separated woman. I left my husband, divorced, year divorce, remarried, and, you know, I will be one day too. The thing is that we took ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we took what meant the most to us, which was this idea of our own jewel that we've worked through. It's our passion, and we've brought it to the world. And you can do that with anything you want. You want to be an accountant? Be the most amazing, passionate accountant you can be. People say, that's not passionate. Of course it is. Numbers are fabulous. Numbers are science. Numbers are the universe. It's how you look at it. If you want to be an artist, be the most amazing creative artist you can be. Create what your soul feels like, because nobody else feels that in your soul as you do. Same with the musician. Nobody's going to hear the same tunes that you hear, and then when somebody hears it, they're just going to say, holy smokes, that is so cool.
Yeah, and people can feel the passion. I think that we're more feeling creatures than we like to let on. We like to let on. Everything's so intellectual, but we're really feeling creatures, meaning we can tell. I can tell what you're passionate about. If you wanted me to talk about gardening, you'd be seeing me go, ugh, I feel everything. I cannot raise one carrot. I'm not passionate at all. Like, I'm passionate about supporting my husband in doing it. That's what I'm passionate about.
Yes.
But we can feel that, and my point in sharing that is when you go big with what you're passionate about, your dreams and your goals, it is amazing the people that will come around to support you. Just because they see your passion. It could be making candy canes, and people say, you are an amazing candy maker. Look how much you care. Look how much you practice. And suddenly the support starts coming in. So if you feel kind of lonely right now, with your dream, your big dream, or maybe think you're crazy, which I always think I'm crazy, and I'm learning that I just get to be with that. A little crazy, because my dreams get really big and bold.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty.
Yeah.
People thought Einstein was crazy. You know, people thought Tesla was crazy. People think everyone that has a gift to give to others, they think they're crazy. So what? Think we're crazy. That's okay.
Yeah.
I embrace the craziness.
Yeah, and
let's do bumper stickers.
I embrace my craziness. I like that. Good Facebook post, too.
Exactly. Exactly. So in anything that anybody wants to create, you can create. You can live your dream. The moment, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, a weekend. Dream. Literally dream. Make up the most amazing, crazy life you can. Just dream what you'd like everything. What you'd like to look like. What you'd like your relationship with your partner to be like. What you'd like your children to be like. Not what they look like, but who they are, who they show up in the world, how you relate to them, what you'd like your house like, what you'd like your business like, what you'd like to play with. Every single thing that excites you. Then you've opened your horizon to something grander, bigger than just a little tiny pea of a thought. You've made soup. You've made a whole big pot of pea soup. Mm-hmm. And then when you do that, then you can start to see the connection between the passion and the heart and the mind. And boom, it's like a newborn star. It just... And then you go forward from there. And when you open your heart like that, everything comes in. All the ideas on how to create. I could not publicly speak 4 years ago. I'll tell this story, which I've shared before privately because it's embarrassing. But in high school, I was in a play, and I totally lost my lines. I couldn't speak. I was so scared. I'm looking in wet my pants. I was also a cheerleader, but I was probably not the best cheerleader I could have been because I was so shy. They had to read my lines from the play off stage as I stood there and had to act it out. Do you know how moronic that must have looked? Yeah. I judged myself for years and years and years. Once I was the Passion Muse, that I was branded the Passion Muse, within 6 weeks, I gave my first seminar. I stood up for 5 hours and talked about connecting your heart and your mind together in 6 weeks because I was told that that's what I needed to do to start my business. I did it. So we can do whatever we want. Connect with the passion within, and nothing else matters. It all pours out. I have a radio show, I have a WebTV show, and I do workshops and seminars, just like you, Victoria. We love to share what we have, and I know that you were a shy person before too.
I was very shy.
And so when we
look
get
at the big mouth now, and not shut me up about this stuff.
And it's gorgeous too. And so when we get excited about these passions, these dreams, and this is the new year, and so one of the points about this is, let's not make resolutions as in, I'm having a New Year's resolution to become a millionaire this year. That's a fabulous idea. That's a fabulous goal. Do it. Don't have a resolution because those can be broken. Your dreams, they don't break because if you hold them true to your heart, you move forward and you catapult yourself. I lost 140 pounds in 7 months 4 years ago. That was my dream to save my life. I didn't know I would lose that much weight in that amount of time. I didn't even know I would live another month and a half trying to do something crazy. It wasn't crazy what I did. But the point is whatever we decide to do, we do, and we do it with joy, love, happiness, blessings, and it's beautiful. And that's the difference between a resolution and the purpose of who you are and the purpose of showing your light. Your goals, your dreams, your hopes, they're all mixed up together, not in just a New Year's resolution, because as we all know, those people who start those diets every January 1st, and guess what? I started my new life 4 years ago, January 1st. It took me 4 months to prepare, but I said this is not a resolution, this is my new life. And I am starting it because it is a new year. So for me, I didn't see it as a resolution. I saw it as my beginning to my life. So I was born 4 years ago.
That's awesome.
So
can I share a thought on the resolutions that
please,
just came to me?
Yes, absolutely.
I think the issue with the word resolution and what we've decided resolution is that it's in the future. It's later on. It's it's a goal for later, rather than being, rather than just
and now.
Yeah, and just letting it just take over all of who you are. So if your resolution is to be healthy, I worry about that word for people. It might not be a big deal for some because it's the attachment and the meaning that you've attached to it, or you people. But that's the meaning I see a lot of people attaching to it. It's kind of on your to-do list rather than the I am list. Yeah, that would be my thought. Like in my dreams of sharing this message of accountability and letting go of lies and finding my truth, it's not just a goal for later. If it were, I don't think I would ever get it done. I'm too lazy. I have to be it. It has to be part of me. I have to care that much. It's just part of my daily life. It's definitely not on the to-do list.
Right.
Inspire the world to let go of their lies. Like, again, like I said, if we're on a to-do list, man, that might not get done for years. Like organizing my kitchen or other things on my to-do list.
Right.
Organizing my file cabinet. They get done eventually, but yeah, I have areas to work in for sure. Anyways, that's my thought on resolutions.
Right.
As long as you see it as a way of being right now, then great.
And connect your passion to what you truly want, because when your heart discovers it and your mind comes in alignment with it, because really most humans live in their mind. They don't live in their heart. And our heart is where our passion is where our love is where our truth is. Our mind is where all the analyticals, I can't, I shouldn't, I this or that. It's also a creative side for us. So when we drop from our head to our heart, there's no stopping us about anything in life.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Our minds certainly help us with what are the baby steps of implementing this dream. Yes. You know, the process, how do we get to that point? But they both got to agree. If your heart's saying, man, I want to be an architect. I've always loved building and I would love to be an architect. But if your brain is saying, why in the world do you think you could ever do that? Who are you to do that? Then you've got issues. Which is
a lie.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
a lie, exactly.
Absolutely.
And this is what Victoria's whole program is about, is catching those lies like that, as she showed you. That's such a lie. We can be whatever. Growing up, my mother had us in different categories. There were 5 of us. My identical twin sister died at birth. But we all had our categories. And me, was the mommy. And yeah, I always wanted to be a mommy since I was a little girl. Was that implemented in my mind from my mother, or was that part of my soul? I could not be the writer, which I am. I'm a published author. I could not be an actress, which doing talk shows, I guess, would follow into that. I could not be the artist, which I taught myself how to paint recently, a year ago. And I taught myself to draw 10 years ago. And people used to say, what art school did you go to? And I said, art school? I didn't. I just started meditating on how to do it. Everything is a line or a circle. So when you draw, trains or anything, you see it in your mind and you visualize it on paper. So we can do whatever we want. And that, actually, the drawing, I did because of my children. I wanted to, and I guess the writing came out of being a mommy too, because I became a librarian, believe it or not. I became a librarian at their private school so that I could help afford the bill. And so I would do these huge displays once a month for the book of the month. And so I would draw these huge pictures. When it was Harry Potter, they were massive. Harry Potter's flying across on his broomstick for the children to see, and things like that. And I loved books. And then all of a sudden I just started writing a book twice a week for my kids. Had a brand new children's book for them to share, for us to share each week. We do this because we love. And I just realized that, wow, when we just came through the holidays, when you want to decorate for the holidays and you have an image in your mind and you can find a way to create that at an affordable price because it's your heart.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to bake something for your family, you find the way and you learn the recipe or whatever because it's in your heart. You want to give. So when you come from giving, even if it's giving, and especially it should be for yourself,
mm-hmm.
you can do anything. Break the lies I tell myself because they don't exist. You know, when I was told, you're not the artist, your sister is. My sister wanted to be an architect. My mother said, no, your brother is. And of course he is. But my sister would have been a fabulous architect too because she's a fabulous artist. It's amazing. You know, it's amazing when we step outside of that box of what we're put into, we can create the world. And it is our world to create.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just thinking about some of my lies. I'm the art person. I'm not the math. And I created that one myself. I stink at math, therefore I must purely just be artistic. And it's funny, as I am seeing us in working out with the house and our budget, I'm all over it. And I'm catching mistakes, and I'm like, wow, that's such a big fat lie.
That you couldn't do the math when you caught the mistake and you're like, wow, look what I saved us because I found the mistake. Yeah.
I rocked. I just got $1,000 this month because I paid attention to some math.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely had a lie that I'm not a math person. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see me teaching trig, but I also was way undervaluing myself as well.
Right. You know, bringing that up is so amazing to me because the whole thing about all of this is from birth to however long we want to accept it, we're put in a box. It's called a paradigm. If we step outside of our paradigm, outside of our box, we can do amazing things. My oldest son, and I'd just like to share this, my oldest son, I always knew he was brilliant. Every parent does, and and let me tell you guys, every child is brilliant. And you better see your children as brilliant and love them because they are. The magnificence is when the parent nurtures that along. Mm-hmm. So at 1 year old, he'd sit in his high chair and we'd count out blueberries because he loved blueberries. And he could count to 3. And he could add them. I'd say 1 + 1 equals, and he'd go boom, 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 and he'd grab 3 and he'd put, or whatever it was, I guess that's 2. I can't count. But he can. But I remember you could count up to 3 because we kept doing it. And it was amazing. But here's the story that I want to share. When he was in the 1st grade, he was tested like all children are tested. And they were at a private school, so they were tested nationally instead of just within the state. He came out 97% in math. Brilliant. Really, really smart child. The next year, he had a horrible teacher. And I didn't know until the last day of school or even right afterwards. I did know that she was lowering him in different math classes or levels. And she would tell the boys, because she didn't like boys, y'all are so stupid. Well, my son took that in. And to this day, he does not think he's good at math.
Oh, wow.
And this is a boy who, as a little tiny child, excelled above the mass majority of our country. You can't tell me. And then instantly he can pick it up when he needs it, because it's there. We all have it. And that's another story about stepping outside of our paradigm, that somebody, it doesn't have to be mommy, it doesn't have to be daddy, but it's teachers, government, neighbors, Boy Scout leaders, Girl Scout leaders, whoever is governing and helping our children, our friends' parents, know who they are, because that paradigm is set. And until we teach our children and until we teach ourselves to step outside, and it's as easy as standing up, lifting up your leg, stepping over a line, lifting up your other leg, stepping over the line, and you are out of that box. Isn't that easy? It's easy. It's easy. So there are no can'ts and no shoulds. And that's all about the lies I tell myself, because we can do everything. And why? I say, because it doesn't matter what your faith is, but we are aligned to the divine. Everybody has their own divine source. It's all the same, but we all call it different things. And that's why we can do whatever we want. And that's why they don't exist, the lies that we tell ourselves.
I would say the truth is we can do whatever we believe. Mm-hmm. We just got to believe it. And then work for it.
Right. Recognize what that falsity, like you're teaching, you taught yourself and you're teaching others, recognize that lie. And then believe that it is a lie and do the opposite. Exactly.
And you're good to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. It's beautiful. At the end of this segment, we're going to have in the credits our contact information so that you can reach us. All month, this month, it will be the lies I tell myself, and there'll be different lies that we'll be discussing. And we're talking about sharing a very special one for Valentine's Day, so please join us for that as well. And it was so lovely to have you, Victoria. And the 30 minutes goes really fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It flies.
It does. So watch us next week for our next segment, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Mia.
Thank you. We're out. Bye.